Broadcasting live from the heart of Western Colorado. News Channel 5. Coverage you can count on.
Good evening and thanks for choosing News Channel 5 at 10 on this election night. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Amber Freeman.
Now the race that will help shift power in the U.S. Senate and one that many across America were looking at, incumbent Democrat Senator Mark Udall versus Republican Congressman Cory Gardner. And Republican Cory Gardner has won the seat right now. He is at 51%. Senator Mark Udall at 43%, and of course, Mr. Kent, Mr. Acosta, Hammond, and Shogun, all with a smattering of percentage points right there. But again, right now, Senator Udall did not regain his seat. Cory Gardner will retain that seat and again help shift power to the Republican Party in the U.S. Senate.
Let's also look at who will lead our state as governor. We have incumbent John Hickenlooper, a Democrat. He right now is at 47%, just a little bit behind Bob Beaupre, who's his Republican challenger right now, who's about at 48.7, almost 49%. So he is leading as of now and might take that seat away from Hickenlooper. It's close, it's neck and neck. We'll see.
Also now to representative to the 114th United States Congress, District 3, which incorporates all of western Colorado and much of northwest and southern Colorado, including Pueblo. Representative Scott Tipton is the incumbent, and he's facing many opponents with Democratic challenger Abel Tapia, Libertarian Travis Merrow, and unaffiliated candidate Tisha Casita. And right now, it is Scott Tipton who is going to retain the U.S. House District 3 seat at almost 60%. Tapia right there at 34%, and then Merrow and Casita, not much of a challenge there for Scott Tipton. And we were able to catch up with Congressman Tipton as he was celebrating here on the Western Slope, and here's a reaction to tonight.
You know, we're going to continue to stay here and celebrate with our friends here in Mesa County tonight, and we're going to roll up our sleeves tomorrow and start visiting with our folks and get back to work.
Mesa County will have a new sheriff tonight after former Sheriff Stan Hickley is no longer able to serve due to term limits.
And of course, you remember lots of controversy with candidates in this race, namely with State Senator Steve King, who dropped out after allegations of official misconduct. Now, Republican Matt Lewis and both Pat Arotin and James Lang are on the ballot running as unaffiliated. And right now, our new sheriff will be Matt Lewis, who has roughly 70% of the vote. Now, we had an opportunity to get reaction from now Sheriff Matt Lewis tonight after hearing about those latest results, and here's a sampling of what he had to say.
It's been a long, hard campaign. I think we've done a good job getting in front of people, getting our message out there, saying what we needed to say. I'm very excited to get to work and start working on public safety in Mesa County.
U.S. State Representative for District 55 will also have a new person in charge after tonight. District 55 is a race that impacts the core of the Grand Valley and Mesa County, as most of us, we live here in this district. It's between Republican Dan Thurlow and Democrat Chris Kennedy, and it looks like Mr. Thurlow has it by 66.6% over Kennedy at 33%. We were also able to get reaction from both of them, Dan Thurlow and Chris Kennedy, tonight after the latest results. Here's a little bit of what they both had to say.
The next step starts Thursday. There are meetings in Denver, training sessions where they're going to show us where the restrooms are and how to start doing this job. So I'm looking forward to that.
I feel fine. This was an uphill battle from the start. We know that. As Democrats in Mesa County, it's always an uphill battle. I'm proud of the campaign we ran, and I have a lot of respect for Dan. He ran a very good, clean campaign. We talked about issues all the way through. We just need to get more opportunities to talk and debate and really flesh out issues among the constituents in Mesa County and Grand Junction.
Now, there will also be a new person leading District 54. This district, consisting of the town of Colburn, DeBeck, Mesa, and unincorporated Mesa County, has been an interesting race, and it involves many candidates: Republican Yulin Willett, Democrat Brad Webb, Libertarian Kyle Davis, and unaffiliated candidate J.J. Fletcher. And here's what we have right now. It looks like Mr. Willett will win right now with 63%, 21% coming from Democrat Webb, Kyle Davis, Right now, it should be 4.18%, and J.J. Fletcher at just a little bit more than 10%. We were able to get reaction from both Yulin Willett and unaffiliated candidate J.J. Fletcher about tonight's results.
I think it's going to be a fairly smooth transition. I'm going to go pretty slow the first year and learn the ropes and make some good relationships so I can gain some traction over there to bring things home to the West Slope.
We don't have reaction from J.J. Fletcher, but we'll move on to State Senate 7, District 7.
Now we have for State Senate District 7, this position covers Western Colorado, and it's the seat that Steve King will leave vacated. The race has Republican Ray Scott and Democratic challenger Claudette Canola hoping to get votes, and it looks like Scott has this one almost by a landslide, 70.67% over Canola's 29.33%. We were able to talk to both candidates tonight regarding their results, and here's Mr. Scott, what he had to say about his victory.
Well, I'm actually thrilled. I mean, it's expected. I mean, it's exactly what we expected to have happen. The people of Mesa County understand that we have a conservative mission, and we have to continue that battle that we've been fighting for the last 4 years.
Claudette Canola tonight after hearing about the latest results, and here's what she had to say about the race.
I think that the people of Mesa County have made a decision, and that's how democracy works. I wish nothing but success for Ray Scott. I hope that he does work in the bipartisan fashion that he convinced the Daily Sentinel he will. I really do hope that he has nothing but success in his endeavors.
We will also have a new Mesa County Commissioner for District 2. This district incorporates the center portion of the county from Riverside Parkway north with 26 and 31 roads serving as rough boundaries. And the race between Republican and longtime politician Scott McInnes and Democrat Mark Williams was interesting. But as you can see, Scott McInnes in a bit of a landslide, 68%, almost 69% versus Williams's 31%. Now, we did get a chance to find Scott McInnes tonight. He had a lot to say about becoming our newest Mesa County Commissioner.
I'm personally very excited that I'm going to get the honor to serve Mesa County as one of their commissioners. I got two great commissioners that I get to go to work with, and I'm excited.
Also for Mesa County Clerk and Recorder, this race has two candidates, Republican incumbent Sheila Reiner versus Democrat Jennifer Manzanares. And yeah, as you can see right there, Sheila Reiner kind of took over almost immediately at 75% almost to Manzanares' 25%. Now, Reiner is the incumbent, and we had an absolutely good opportunity tonight to talk to her. And here's a slice of what she had to say about tonight's win.
I'm excited about my second term. I think that there's a lot of great work that's still to be done in the clerk's office, and very appreciative of that opportunity.
Now, live from the newsroom is News Channel 5 reporter Travis Kachatourian.
And wow, Travis, there you are. You were at the Republican Party a little bit earlier tonight. What a great night for not only local Republicans, but really nationwide. Tell us what it was like tonight.
Well, being there at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill, it was all smiles. It was packed house. Every time they announced a winner after winner, there was cheers in the house. First came with Cory Gardner, and then all of the other ones followed in with Willett Yulin, Scott McInnes, Scott Tipton. Everybody was there. It was all high spirits. I know it wasn't the same on the other side of the aisle, but tonight was really the Republicans' night, Jorma and Amber.
Yeah, and that was not very much a surprise. This area is definitely leaning red and has leaned Republican. In fact, most of our incumbents are also Republicans. So not too many big surprises, although with the U.S. Senator and the governor's race, maybe a little bit surprising.
You know, the states seem to follow the trend that the United States as a whole had this year, and so it's going with the Republican Party.
Definitely a shift. Well, let's take a quick break because we want to talk about the gas card. For those of you who entered to win a $50 gas card, we now have tonight's winner.
Congratulations to Mary Crothers. You have won a $50 gas card. You have until the end of the show to claim your card by calling 242-5000, and you have 2 weeks to pick up the card. And you guys know the drill. As always, if you'd like to win your own $50 gas card. You can simply enter by heading to westernslopenow.com or to go to Ed Bozarth, Mark Miller Chevrolet Buick.
Now, we're not done with election news. We still have Palisade 2A, 2B, Amendment 67, 68. We have a Prop 104, Prop 105.
Keep going.
We've got a lot more election results to talk to you about. Also, let's take a live look with our Sky 5 cam because I will be doing the weather. Chief Meteorologist Greg Rule is at the hospital right now trying to deliver his first son into the world. We'll be right back. News Channel 5, your local election headquarters, and a measure that much of western Colorado is paying attention to, Measure 2A in Palisade. This measure, if passed, will start the allowance of retail recreational cultivation facilities, retail marijuana product manufacturing, and retail marijuana stores. And as of right now, extremely close. In fact, last check, it was only separated by 18 votes, but right now, it'll be a no, a little more than 50%. With the no, and yes, just shy of 50%. Like I said, last check, only 18 votes separated that measure. And somewhat connected, Palisade's Measure 2B, which if passed, would place an extra occupation tax of $5 for each sales transaction on retail marijuana sales that is less than $100, a $10 occupation tax for each sales transaction over $100, and a $25 occupation tax for each sales transaction that is more than $500 in the town of Palisade. Of course, if Measure 2A gets approved, and right now, despite this winning, it will not mean much unless Measure 2A changes, but as of right now, if Measure 2A does pass, there will be those extra taxes on recreational marijuana sales. Now, it's a close race to see what Palisade will be voting on for Measure 2A to allow recreational marijuana shops into Palisade. We spoke to the town mayor of Palisade on what he says would be the next step if the town approves it.
Definitely going to have to do some changes and additions into the code to allow it. There's a lot of things that the town trustees are going to have to find the answers for before we can get on the road.
Now, a measure DeBeck voters are involved with mirroring what Palisade is voting on, as Measure 2C, if passed, would place an excise tax on the sale of retail marijuana and retail marijuana products at the rate of 5% of the purchase price. If you recall, DeBeck will be having a rec shop put into place, and right now, voters are saying yes, place that extra tax on that marijuana.
Voters will also decide who the next Mesa County assessor will be. This race has two candidates, Republican Ken Brownlee, who right now has this at 78.98%, 79% over the American Constitution candidate, Steve Henderson, at 21%. Colorado will also have a new Secretary of State. This race has four candidates. Democrat Joe Neguse is at 42.57%, excuse me, just behind Williams, the Republican, at 50.39%. Then we have American Constitution candidate, again, Amanda Campbell, at 3.7%, and Libertarian Dave Schambach is following close by Campbell, but still not even in the race at 3.32%.
Let's get into some state measures, starting with the Personhood Amendment, Amendment 67, which approved would define person and child in the Colorado Criminal Code and the Colorado Wrongful Death Act to include unborn human beings. And as you can see, the state of Colorado is saying no to changing the Personhood Amendment at almost 64%. Amendment 68, the Racetrack and Casino Amendment, and the measure that had us all watching numerous commercials is another measure that has a direct impact for us in Mesa County, because if passed, our county would be in line to see a potential horse racetrack and casino built and allowed to be in operation along with Arapahoe and Pueblo County. And along with this measure is the promise of sending tax revenues from those establishments to Colorado education. Well, there, as you can see, pretty overwhelmingly no from the state of Colorado at almost 73% versus 27%, a little bit more.
Proposition 104, which if approved, it would change the Colorado revised statutes and require any meeting of a board or educator and a school district employee at which a collective bargaining agreement is discussed to be open to the public. We have it right now. That's going to happen at 69.48%, and it says landslide over the 30.52 again. Then we have Proposition 105, which is the GMO amendment. Much debated here in Colorado. If passed, this would change Colorado revised statutes concerning the labeling of genetically modified food. That would be starting July 1st, 2016. Any food that has been genetically modified or treated with genetically modified material will need to be labeled that it's produced with genetic engineering. And right now, that's not going to happen. It's no over the 67.96%.
Yeah, that measure, definitely many people were talking about whether or not that was going to move forward. It will not. Prop 104 as well, something that we were talking about, that will not as well. So that is the Colorado races, and we did a quick review of who won, who lost. But again, on the bottom ticker, you're going to see, again, those results. Go to our Facebook page, go to our web channel, WesternSlopeNow.com. We are continuing to update. And again, a couple races still not decided just yet. Tomorrow morning, we'll see if, especially Measure 2 way change.